Okay, welcome everyone. Today I'm gonna keep working on the hair. After the failure to after the failure yesterday, I kind of redesigned the process a little bit after the test, and I'm getting somewhere today. So earlier this day, I created a new version of the hairstyle, and it's looking pretty close. I just need to push the shape a little bit to make it matching my hair a little bit better. But overall, it kind of looks pretty good. But let's work on that. So this is my progress. I put it in Unreal Engine. It looks pretty okay. The shapes looks fine. Not quite there, but looks fine. And the color and the hair strain just looks pretty natural. Look like real hair. The only thing I really need to fix right now is first of all the size here. I think it's a little bit too short and I need to match it a little better. Maybe just make them longer, and that's pretty much it. And this area is a little bit wrong. I need to remove some of the hair, not a big change. So let's start with this. Um, so what I want is remove. I don't know if the modifier is gonna work very well with this, but we'll see. I might need to disable some modifier, but for the size, it should be fine. So I want to remove some of these and drag them around. I just need, I guess I just disabled modifier to make it smoother. And these can get down. I think the whole hair process is more like a practice, right? Like yesterday, I spent a lot of time with this, but after that, I kind of spent less time working on it and delivered a much better result. So it's more down to the practice. I just need to do a little bit more, and it's gonna get better over time. Oh, I didn't turn on the guides. Okay, I guess I'll just remove this one. Okay, the back of it looks okay. What if I remove these? There's a lot of repeat here. Probably not needed. Yeah, this is much smoother. And trim these shorter. This is reaching too far down here. Maybe even shorter. Okay, I guess I need to drag the shape a little bit. Point down. A little bit too short, I'm afraid. This looks fine. Not that smooth, but overall fine. Just smooth it out a little bit. And let's drag these heads down. Just so they stick to the skin a little better. Okay. This area gonna puff a little. Well, I need to grow them out. Not quite here, but why there's something here? I need to turn off the mirror and maybe just manually do this. Okay. I just delete all these clumps too close. Maybe all these. I learned that yesterday. It's easier to edit these stuff in edit mode. Why can't I select these? Okay. Something like that. These are really not necessary. Okay. What else? Something like this. Okay. I think, yeah, much cleaner. Maybe we add something here. Something's weird. This side. Wait, what's going on? Something happened. Demonstrate their shape. Yep. Not bad. Don't need to get them super close. Okay. Now just comb it closer together here. Like that. Looks good. And here I just need to extend it a little bit. Extend and comb it into a good shape. They're not growing as much as I want. And the sides are not symmetric anymore. Like somewhere around here. Let's try clump hair. I finally figured out how to properly use clump hair, and I think it will help in this scenario. Yesterday it was really horrible. I know some of these things are just doesn't work out of the box. You need to tweak some settings. Don't need that big of a clump. Yeah, something like that looks good. Okay, I'll disable symmetry anyway because it doesn't work. This part is weird. Is that interpolate guides? I hope it doesn't break it. 20, yeah, it sure looks better. I'm generally okay with that. But for the back of it, I think yesterday I turned the interpolate guide a little high, so right now I'll have to fix it manually. but not a huge problem though. It still looks fine. Okay, the side is fixed. I think I don't need this one. Let's see. Yep, and also here. These are too repetitive. Okay. Oh my god, where did that come from? When did I delete those? Yeah. Well, Blender sometimes screw me over. Okay, it looks pretty nice. Is it flying out? Oh my god, it is. Okay, I don't know what I did to it, but I need to fix this. I have a better understanding of the difference between projection and the sphere, but the thing is, I'm still very cautious about using projection because it just sometimes touch the points you don't want to touch, and I find it very annoying. None of them are perfect. Like sphere sometimes doesn't really grab what you want to grab for some reason. Like they're both kind of weird to work with, so I just need to get used to it. So I think I will insert some guide in the center. What are these? I'll add a guide here. Wait, what is this? Are you supposed to look like that? Nah, let's forget about shape. And let's drag it down. Probably better to select it first. Oh, yeah. Just fill this area up a little bit. And interpolation can turn up. And I think we're pretty good. So for the top, it just needs some minor adjustments. At least that's what I think. And this one, we don't want symmetry. And for this shape adjustment, I just need to project. I think the look I want to achieve is somewhat puffy, I would say. I mean, this hair looks weird. Let's remove it for now. And I found it better to be not fully aligned with the scope, leave some space. So when Unreal Engine interpolated, it got some room to work with because of the physics and everything, you know. Like these can drag out a little bit. Yeah, project mode is just so much easier to work with, but so horrible when you grab something wrong and you realize it minutes later when you already changed everything. Is there a shortcut for this? Shift Alt Z. Yeah, that's easier. And because Blender and Unreal just they have completely different field of view, I think, or focal length with their camera. It's quite horrible when I import it to Unreal and I realize the hair looks too thin or not wide enough, too narrow. It's very annoying, but I mean, it just happened. I think what I want to change is here. I want to actually bring them a little bit more forward. And this is the part I'm very annoyed with because with project, I'll probably grab the other side, which gonna be very annoying to deal with. But I think it depends on the hairstyle you're working on. I just want to have a little bit more volume on the top and the side here in the front. I'll use Sapphire for now, just so I don't grab the other side. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there. There's a gap here. There's a couple way I can fix this. I can either add another string here. Yeah, I think it's rather empty, so let's try add one here first. Okay, it works pretty well. Oh, yesterday there's also another problem that I realized is that the UV unwrap process kind of doesn't work so well. So what I did this time is I follow some other video that I extract the scope and then unwrap the UV, and it seems to be working pretty well. So yesterday I remember there's some arrow always popping up here about some UV stuff. I'm not super sure what that is though, but it just happened to be there, and I think that's related to this. Okay, well, I don't see much of a problem, so I would say why not try to export it and see how it goes. And I think this side is a little bit more puff than the other side. Probably a little bit, but not like too much on the back. I think it's only visible from the back and it's not that important. This part I want to bring it down a little bit so they follow the shape a little better. I want the front to be puff a little, but the side should mostly stay the same. This strand of hair is being a little annoying now. Where is it? Which one is it? I think it's time to go to the edit mode. Oh, there's a lot of guides though. Thing is, I don't see a lot of hair that's standing out that much, which is annoying. Let's try to smooth it out, especially the tips. I think it's related to this one. I'm not sure what's the best way to select it, but I guess this, and then grab. I just realized that using edit mode to select is a much better choice. Okay, I hope it's not standing out now. No, there's something in the front. Oh, it might be this part. Okay, there we go. Great, good tip. Use edit mode to select. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Well, I could choose to even the size a little bit. Yeah, mostly these parts, but in general, they're fine. Looks like we're good. Okay, I'll try to export it into Unreal and see how it goes. So let me save a copy called here export versions 3. Yeah, we are on version 3 already. And now let's get to object mode, top, apply. A lot of modifiers. Okay, not much here. Convert particle system, and go to particle render. Show emitter, no. Viewport show emitter, no. We can hide the scope. This is our hair. I don't know why it's kind of mixed with this gray, dark gray color. Maybe it's just a render problem. No idea, but based on my test yesterday and today, this thing doesn't really bother me. Wait, can I import the Unreal version of the hair to adjust it? Might be. Might worth a try, but probably not what I'm gonna do today. So the scale is 100. I think the scale is like, because in Unreal the unit is centimeter and here is meter. I think that's the reason, but I'm pretty sure there's a way to change Unreal into meter. I'm not that familiar with Unreal, so let's go to Unreal anyway. Unreal editor. By the way, this everything program is just a pretty handy tool to quickly search throughout your whole system. You can find everything pretty fast. I think it keeps a local index of all your files. I started to use it back in the sound design days, and a lot of sound designers kind of use it. I don't know what other people are gonna use it for, but a lot of sound designers might use it for like audio files and everything because it's free and cheap. Even though it's not the best for audio workflow, there are other tools for that, but it's pretty close to what some of those audio libraries offers. So not a bad choice if you want to have a good search tool. Especially Windows search tool is not very good for files and everything. Let me make sure I prepare the folder first so I can speed up the process. Let me clean up some stuff. So here, I'm probably gonna delete all of these. I hope nothing breaks, but force delete. They're just taking too much space here. Here export v3. Alright. And yesterday I didn't use the high rendering profile in Unreal, which leads to maybe a little bit worse results, but shouldn't be too much. And I can lower this one, and root scale to 1.5 and tip scale to super thin to make a very good look. Well, this is some parameter I found on YouTube, and people using these parameters to make the tip of the hair look thinner, and it just make it render a little bit better. At least looks a little bit better. I'm not 100% sure what all these settings are doing, but it's not that hard to set up anyway. And by the way, if I want to change any settings here after I put it on my Metahuman, I can pretty much change it real time. I don't need to redo the binding process and everything like yesterday. So this makes life so much easier. See, this spring really bring the hair down, so I want to have a little spring, but not really that much. I think I would change the interpolation to 1 because it makes the hair look too thin, and I'm afraid the scope gonna show up after I put it on my Metahuman. We'll see. Yeah, they just look much fuller this way, and I think it's gonna be better. I don't know if you can hear, but my computer is start to spinning. What am I doing? Why am I opening this again? Okay, let's create binding and MC John face mesh, MC John face mesh. Create, save, and let's head to our MetaHuman panel. I mean, working in Unreal is still pretty heavy for my computer, especially when I set the what do you call performance scale to ultra or something. It's weird that this performance scale also affect the MetaHuman tab, which I didn't expect before. I mean, if this hair still doesn't work, I will just stick with the one provided by Unreal because it's not that far away from my hairstyle, and it works better. But I still want to make this work, you know? Alright, I don't think we have any hair that's working here. Oh, I hope it doesn't break. Okay, nice. This one. Let's hope for the best. Where? Okay. Please work better. Huh. Honestly, it's not bad. Guys, I think it's working. I do think it's a little too thick, but I think I can change it real time here. What I want to change is the strain. Make it more like, let's change it to 1. Maybe I shouldn't add that much density on the sides, because sides are looking too dense here. I can do a quick review over here. I could change the interpolation of the hair. Yeah, that looks much natural. Oh, but the top is ruined. Oh my god, I look bold. I change it to 0.5 and change the strength and root scale a little bit higher. Well, honestly, I like the more fuller look. It doesn't look bad. Let's do some animation. This physics thing is kind of killing me. Let's just remove the physics. My hair shouldn't move that much. Well, it does. I would say it does look real. Looks like some hair, but I don't know. I just don't quite like it. Maybe I would just move the hair forward and make them more like mine and trim them shorter. Because right now it looks a little weird here. Okay. And also I need to make the sides less dense. Let's work on that. I hope I can keep unrealengine while working on this. Let's make a V4. Save this, and for the side it's pretty simple. I just reduce the density. Wait. Why am I? Oh, yeah, scope mode side, and let's change it to 50. Don't want it to be that dense. And for the top, let's do some changes. I think we're almost there. Move these hair forward a little bit. Oh, look at this. I can see when this could be useful, but in my case right now, it's not so useful. I'll remove the subdivision for now. And trim these parts a little bit. I think I really should trim these parts a lot shorter because I'm actually not wearing that long of a hairstyle. Maybe a couple months ago, but definitely not now. Okay. It sometimes almost feel like you're really working as a hair designer now to move these stuff around. Yeah, just to be safe, I'm using sphere. Feel like I'm trimming and styling the hair. Yeah, sometimes pretty interesting to work with. When it works though. Trim this part. Well, one advantage over real hair cutting is I can actually grow the hairs. Is it a better hairstyle? Could be. Oh, this part is a little flat. And the top part needs a lot of work. I think I'll try to think about how I actually style my hair. I'll maybe put them forward, bend them down, something like that. And adjust the shape a little. Smooth them, drag it up. Wait, I think it worked. Is there a better hairstyle now? Hard to say, but I think I need to grow these hair. I think it's better to use pull to pull individual hair longer. Wait, okay. Something. I think the order of the hair is a little weird. So these should be in the front, and these should be put back. Something like that. That's the wrong angle. We're getting somewhere. I have a feeling we're getting somewhere. I think I'll use Sapphire. Yeah, it's some short hair back there needs to be dealt with. It needs to be longer for sure. This is actually very close to what I do to my hairstyle when styling my hair. At least what I imagine I'm doing when I'm styling my hair. So ideally, we should get a very close result. But what is this? Whenever I see this kind of thing now, the first instinct is to remove it and add it again. Nah, nah. We just keep it removed. The back of the hair is up again, so it's trimmed them down. Maybe not too much. Something like that. Could work. I might be working with too many guides, and that could be an issue. Because right now I feel like I'm having a trouble to define the hairstyle while managing the guides. Wait, I want to select this one. What? Okay, I think we're getting close. Oh my god. I wonder where these smaller curves come from. It should be somewhere around here. Yeah, that should clean it up. Yeah, let's not worry about a clump for now. Add some clump. It's really adding these. Apparently this clump is not doing some good for me. Might need to interpolate guides a little better. Maybe increase the distance guide. Whoa, it's really adding some random stuff. There's no random stuff in here. Everything should be pretty clean. Okay, the lower shape seems to help. Okay, it's cleaning up the strands a little bit. Introduce another clump. And add another. Okay, it looks much better now. I still think I need to smooth these out a little bit. Does it look like my hairstyle? Maybe, maybe not. At this point, I don't know anymore. I think there's a curve root kind of option. Might help with that. No, cannot do that. I guess I just need to manually do it. So my hairstyle is still more curvy on the root. Oh, look at this. Okay, I think it's pretty close. Let's export it and see how it goes. Okay, here's the deal. If this doesn't work, I'll just stick with the stock hairstyle because I really need to move on to getting dressed, you know? I still haven't get my character a proper clothes yet, so I cannot stuck on this step for too long. The video need to make video out of it, and I need to have some progress. And I can always work on this a little bit more in the future when I'm more comfortable with creating hairstyle, you know. Right now, I think I reached my limit, being working on this stuff back and forth for a while and not making too much progress. Okay, 101. Okay, at least Unreal is open. Oh, something's wrong. Yeah. All right. Transfer thing. Don't bother with fixes. Yeah. Okay. Binding. Message on. Hope for the best. Oh wow, it's actually not too bad. Actually not too bad. But it's not that much different from the last one. I think the shape is a little bit wrong. Maybe the top part need to be a little wider. No, this is not the way. This part is too bold. Maybe this side is the only side that kind of works, but the front is definitely wrong. I think it's because my top part need to be somewhere around here, not here. Well, okay. This is the deal. I'm not gonna use this hairstyle. I'll just roll back to the previous one, this short casual, and just wear it. Yeah, I think because this one is a little wider, so it looks much better. But I mean, it's closing up to my hairstyle anyway. So, okay, guys, I guess today's little plan is not working so well. So I just keep using the default hairstyle provided by Unreal, and I need to move on to other parts of the creation, and mainly putting some clothes on my character. And I will do it tomorrow. I think I will still stream it and record video out of it, and then I'm pretty much done with this character. And later on, I need to build something to render it and build some animation. Um, Original plan of this video is that I want to create a virtual scene of my room that I usually create video in. But then I realized that there are a much better way to do that is just to use a still image of my scene and later on in the post I compose the render of the character onto it. It's just a much easier process, so there's really no need to recreate this scene. And also because the recording environment in my room is actually pretty limited, so I'm using this scene is only because I'm really limited. So when I have a virtual character, maybe I can um, record some video in some different environment that I usually cannot go to. Maybe somewhere like a forest or something like that. I don't know. I can just mess around with that because in Unreal Engine there's a lot of possibility I can do. So um, I still think this project can be pretty successful in the future. And what I'm planning in the future with this thing is that maybe I can create some B-rolls with in different scenarios, so it can better tell the story in my video. Because when I have to film myself, there are a lot to worry about, and when I can just animate the character, then it's much easier for me to put in a lot more content, especially like a B-roll that really match the topic and everything. Because for me, when I'm filming, if I want to carry my camera and everything outside to film something, it's very annoying and very awkward and take a lot of time. So this is what I really want to use this project with, to create better B-rolls and everything. And sometimes you don't even need some environment. You probably just need some very clean shots that with some camera movement that is sometimes very hard to do myself, because if you don't know, my camera doesn't really do autofocus. The best I can do is single time autofocus. I think it's the term. It's called one time focus. I don't know. It doesn't have It doesn't have continuous focus. That's the point. So I cannot really follow my face around, and maybe this video is totally out of focus, and I cannot really do anything. So that's the thing. That's the limitation when I'm filming myself. There's a lot of things because I cannot really have a lot of movement with me, because if I move too much back and forth, they're gonna be out of focus unless I intend to do that. And there's some way to automate this, but it just makes the process so much harder. So whenever I want to have camera movement using a virtual scene, gonna be much easier. And working with camera in Unreal is actually very intuitive. Um, the only downside with Unreal is just like my computer is very slow with it. Even with low performance setting, it's still kind of slow down a lot when I'm working with Unreal. So my computer doesn't really work too well with 3D things because the graphics card is not very good. But overall, it's still doable. Later this year, I might need to have a little bit of upgrade because the project I'm working on nowadays is a little bit too heavy for my computer. Okay, that's it for today's streaming, and hopefully see you tomorrow.